Take a look at the Browns and their 2019 offense. If you want to talk about that and any of the Indian situation, lines are open if you want to get in, 216-575-0403. Your thoughts on the offense? Let's take a look at the 2019 offense as we speculate a little bit here with the Cleveland Browns. And, of course, the quarterback, no question about that. I don't think I've ever said that on May 2nd. No question about the quarterback situation for the Browns. I haven't said that since Frank Ryan, I think. Baker Mayfield is the starter. Nick Chubb is the main running back. Along, at least at this time, on the second, at dinner time on the 2nd of May, you got Duke Johnson still on. And that's a pretty good receiving core. Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, and, of course, the tight end, David Njoku. What do you think when you look at that offense?
What I think is, are we supposed to call Beckham Jr. or just Beckham? I don't know.
He's the player to be named later. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, it's pretty
Jr.
good. I mean, you know, the quarterback is just so important, and obviously we haven't had one here for, you know, maybe Frank Ryan.
And of course, because Kluber got hurt, certainly Mayfield will also, right? No, knock on wood. I didn't mean that.
Well, he won't get hit by a line drive, I don't think.
Projected starters. By the way, we'll talk about that when we talk about the defense. I thought that an interesting comment came out today. We'll talk about that. Here's the offensive line. What do we know? You don't really know. Guys like you and I, nothing personal. We really don't know how good these guys are.
You know, football's an interesting sport. The NFL game, on the offensive line, it's the only sport I know where you basically have to ask the coaches who played good in that game. I mean,
we know if Carlos Santana hits 3 homers, we know he had a good game.
I'm sure there's some metrics that exist for evaluating offensive linemen, but I'll be darned if I know what they are. You don't hear about them. So it's almost like, you know, you have to go over the film in depth to figure out who played good and who was awful.
I asked Doug Deacon one time, during the course of the game, what are you watching for? He says, everything. On every play? Oh, yeah.
Everything at every position?
Everything at every position.
I think that would be hard to do, like a center. You know, like how you can't even see him half the time. And so how do you evaluate, you know, a good center?
Well, you assume if this guy over the center didn't tackle the quarterback that he's having a good game.
Yeah, and if they're in the shotgun, he didn't snap it over the quarterback's head.
Right.
But they're not really exactly glamour positions.
No, they're not. When you look at the lineups as we put out there with the offensive, the backfield and the receiving core, and Baker Mayfield, if you're trying to categorize what this team is it a running team? Should it be a running team? Should it be a passing game? What should it be?
Well, I think it can be all those things, and I think that's what makes it so good. They finally have a running game that can complement the passing game and vice versa because they've got weapons in both spots. I just like the notion of maybe the NFL's most accurate quarterback already throwing to Beckham, who's got the best hands in the NFL. So, you know, there's potential there for a lot of touchdowns, you would imagine.
I'm wondering if Beckham with great hands, is his right hand much better than the left, or is it about the same? What do you think?
Probably doesn't matter. I mean, you know, he does a lot of one-handed catching, so I presume
Let's
both
see,
of them
my right hand's better. Let me move it over here.
Yeah.
Make it a tougher catch.
Yeah, he may not actually have to make a lot of great catches because as accurate as Mayfield is, the ball seems to be like right there all the time.
Good point. All right.